Have you ever met someone who understands everything quickly, but still seems tired, distant, or strangely alone? From the outside, people with extremely high IQ often seem gifted in every way. They learn faster, notice more, and solve problems that leave others confused. It can look like a huge advantage, and in some ways, it is. But psychologically, having an extremely high IQ does not always make life easier. Sometimes it makes life heavier. Another hidden challenge is identity. When someone is praised mainly for being smart, they may slowly tie their self-worth to performance. Success feels expected, mistakes feel personal, and rest can feel undeserved. Over time, this can create pressure that has nothing to do with effort and everything to do with who they believe they must be. One of the biggest reasons is this: highly intelligent people usually do not just think more, they think deeper. Their mind keeps going beyond the obvious. A simple moment becomes a chain of analysis. A small comment becomes something to examine. A normal problem turns into 10 different questions. And because of that, their mind rarely feels quiet. Even when nothing is wrong, they may still be analyzing the past, predicting the future, or searching for hidden meaning in what other people say and do. This constant mental activity can make them look calm on the outside while feeling exhausted on the inside. Another important trait is pattern recognition. People with very high IQ often notice things others miss. They pick up on tone, contradiction, weak logic, emotional tension, and subtle changes in behavior. They can sense when something feels off, even before anyone says it directly. This can make them incredibly insightful, but it can also make peace harder to find. Because when your brain is always detecting problems, inconsistency, or hidden tension, it becomes difficult to simply relax and stay present. Many highly intelligent people also struggle with feeling different. This often starts early. They may feel disconnected in conversations, bored by shallow topics, or frustrated when people stop where they want to go deeper. It is not always about ego. Often, it is about not feeling mentally or emotionally matched. And over time, that creates a quiet kind of loneliness. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone when very few people truly understand how your mind works. Perfectionism is another common pattern. A highly intelligent person can often imagine the ideal version of something very clearly. They see how it should sound, how it should look, how it should work. But real life is rarely that clean. Real effort is messy. Real results are imperfect. So instead of moving forward, they may freeze. This is why some highly intelligent people procrastinate. Not because they are lazy, but because reality feels disappointing compared to the standard already living inside their mind. Emotionally, high intelligence does not protect a person from pain. In fact, it can make pain more complicated. Someone may understand exactly why they are anxious, why they feel empty, or why a relationship failed, and still not know how to feel better. Insight is powerful, but it does not always bring relief. Knowing the reason for pain is not the same as healing it. This is also why some very intelligent people seem emotionally distant. Not because they do not feel deeply, but because they often feel too much and think too much at the same time. Sometimes they stay quiet because explaining their inner world feels exhausting. Sometimes they have learned that most people do not really want the full answer. But despite all of this, a very high IQ can also be something beautiful. These people are often deeply creative, original, curious, and capable of seeing possibilities that others miss. They can make unexpected connections, understand complexity, and bring clarity where others see confusion. Still, intelligence alone is not enough for a good life. A powerful mind also needs emotional balance. It needs rest, it needs connection, and it needs meaning. Because the true psychology of people with extremely high IQ is not just about being smart. It is about living with a mind that rarely slows down, notices too much, feels deeply, and often searches for a level of understanding that is hard to find. And sometimes their greatest challenge is not learning more. It is learning how to live peacefully with everything they already see. And this is the part people often forget. A very high IQ may help someone understand the world, but it does not always help them feel at home in it. Being able to see deeply is a gift, but it can also become a burden when the mind never stops searching, questioning, and comparing. That is why some highly intelligent people spend years trying to master everything around them, only to realize that the real challenge was never the outside world. It was learning how to be gentle with themselves. Not every question needs an answer. Not every flaw needs to be fixed. Not every moment needs to be analyzed. Sometimes, real growth begins when a person stops treating their mind like a machine that must always perform, and starts treating it like a human mind that also needs quiet, warmth, and rest. Because intelligence becomes most powerful not when it is constantly proving itself, but when it is grounded, when it is balanced, when it is connected to something meaningful. And maybe that is the hidden struggle of being extremely intelligent. Not how to think better, but how to suffer less, connect more, and finally feel at peace inside a mind that has been awake for far too long. And maybe the deepest need of all is not to be admired for being intelligent, but to be understood as a human being. Because behind the sharp thinking, the deep analysis, and the quiet distance, there is often someone who is simply tired of carrying so much inside. Someone who does not need more information, but more peace, more honesty, more connection. And sometimes healing begins when they stop asking, "How can I use my mind better?" and start asking, "How can I live more gently with myself?" For a truly powerful mind, that may be the hardest lesson of all.